Hey guys, I just want to do a quick little talk about water quality and a disaster that just happened to me. So, coupled with that, I'm also in South Florida and facing Mr. Hurricane Matthew tomorrow night. So all fish owners know what kind of a nightmare a pending storm can be. Yeah, if I lose power, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'll get to that at the end of the video. So anyway, my Oscar of a good 12, pushing 13 years old. This is a quarantine tank, by the way. He has a hole in the head pretty bad. He's had it for, look at that, he's missing the chunk of God knows what meat between his eyes. And quite a few pits in his jawbone and above his eyes, you can see. It's sad, and it's been going on for a month, and I've been pulling my hair out, trying to figure out why and how, and testing the water, and high in ammonia, and I could not figure out why. The tank has been cycled for 4 years. So I finally decided to test my tap water, and boy, what a mistake that was. Or, you know, not a mistake, but I should have done it a long time ago. Yeah, so I'm in South Florida, like I said, so we have chloramines in the water, which I'm aware of. So I would use API's tap water conditioner. Herein lies the problem that I ran into. So our tap water also contains a little bit of ammonia, maybe less than 0.25 ppm. So while that's not good, it's not great either to do water changes with water that already has ammonia in it, right? And then the second problem that I found out is, yes, this takes care of chloramines, but what these treatments do when chloramines break down, and I'm not going to get into the chemistry of it because I don't know the chemistry of it, but when chloramines break down, one of the byproducts is ammonia. So the tap water already has 0.25 ppm ammonia, and then when the chloramines break down, that was added more. So yeah, I was already up to 0.5. So every time I did water change, so here I am thinking I'm doing my buddy Oscar a service by constant water changes, and I'm really making the problem worse. So now he's been quarantined. I stopped using API and I'm onto Prime now because that also detoxifies ammonia. But there's a caveat to that as well. It only detoxifies it for 24 hours, and then I'm assuming it gradually comes back, at which point your biomechanical filter should be able to handle the load and take care of it. So this is a quarantine tank, just a 28-gallon sump on a trickle filter, DIY trickle filter, and then that canister right now has zeolite and a little bit of carbon in it to help keep my ammonia down. And then I'm also treating the water with Pimafix and this Micro Artemis product that I found. It's an herbal product like Primaflix and Melaflix. I'm not using Melaflix now. That's for his sores aren't really open and nasty, but that's what that's more for. And this one's for fungal infections, which is for the hole in the head. And this too would help him a little. So I'm not overdosing it, but the question became, what water do I use, right? Do I still use my tap water, try and use Prime, which will get the ammonia down, but I'll still have an ammonia problem. So, and then part two to the problem with using these things that kill the ammonia is your pH goes to shit as well. So my pH in this tank is down to 6.3 right now because of adding all these other chemicals. Yeah, so because of the hurricane, I went out and bought an extra test kit of ammonia tests because I'm doing that an awful lot. My TDS meter and my pH meter have fresh batteries in them. I have a brand new bottle of Prime, and now water is the issue. So if you guys have any feedback and comments on this, please let me know. Last night we had a downpour of rain. I put one of my storage barrel out there. I'm going to set this up on Oscar. We can look at him while I babble a little bit more. And I collected 35 gallons of rainwater, and I tested it. TDS was 7, which my tap water is 150, 155. and the pH was pretty high. It was 9.5, I think, but that came down rather quickly, and I think that's from the aeration of it once I put it in my tanks. So yeah, I filled up this storage tank I have up here, or a second aquarium that's just not tied in right now. So I filled up that 30-gallon with rainwater, and that's what's in Oscar's tank right now, and he's loving it. So his pH is getting back stabilized now. TDS went back up to about 100, 120 because of the additives I've been putting in, and probably because the biofilters, you know, has some stuff in it. Yeah, so back to water. So now I'm facing the hurricane, and one of the problems is not only could we lose power, we could lose water, but we'll get a lot of rain. So I'm wondering, is it okay? I mean, I'm testing the rainwater, and it's I guess as pure as you can get, unless there's something I'm missing, trace elements that I'm not testing for. But from my perspective, it's better than my crappy tap water right now. I heard in the news too we're having problems with water supply systems up north and lakes and stuff, so they've added even more chloramines, and yeah, I almost don't even want to use tap water anymore, so I've ordered an RODI system, and that should be here this weekend, which will alleviate my problem. But in the meantime, I'm still dealing with the hurricane. So I also have a little Epsom salt that I put in Oscar's water to help with his wounds. I read on a couple of forums where you could soak their food in a little solution of Epsom salt and water, but he was not having that. He had nothing to do with it. pH regulator, because again, adding all these chemicals, especially the ammonia eaters, is dropping my pH. And then I also got a bottle of this, which is a specific ammonia detoxifier. And the reason being is, if some of you know, I have, oops, sorry about that. I have a 300-gallon tank in the other room that I decided to test for ammonia. So that's part of our problem as hobbyists, right? We don't often test for ammonia. And it's funny, Bulk Resupply just posted a video today about this very topic, how to handle ammonia spikes. So I thought that was pretty ironic, so it kind of prompted me to go ahead and make my little talk of my disaster this week. So these are zeolite infused little sponge cubes, pretty hard, but they're spongy material. I threw some of that in my biofilter in my 300-gallon to help bring the ammonia down, because it's not bad. It's at 0.25 ppm. So considering, again, I've been doing water changes with water with ammonia, so I'll get that down and everybody will be good, and then boost my pH back up and try and nurse him back to health. There's one more good look of the nasty wounds. Now, some of his wounds are from age, like that growth on the bottom of his lip. But yeah, there's a nasty shot of it right there. But yeah, that thing is from him protecting that rock. That rock is like his mating bed, which he's never had a mate for, but he protects it with his life. And he's always scraping it and pushing it around, and that thing is just growing on his chin over time. But yeah, there's some good meat taken out of the middle of his forehead there. So I'm going to monitor him and treat him in this water, keep it as clean and pristine as I can. And hopefully, that wound right there is one of the worst. Let's try and zoom in on it. So nothing pussing or looking disgusting yet, but they're getting pretty deep. It's below scale and into flesh, so wish me luck, and wish Oscar luck. Hole in the head is one of those diseases that there's just not any definitive answers for. Everybody wants to immediately blame water quality, which of course is always the start of most diseases and such. So yeah, you have to agree, but yeah, I question that there's a whole lot more involved. And I think in my case, age obviously has a lot to do with it. His immune system is surely weakened. He's 13 years old. Oscars have a life expectancy of, what, 8 years tops? So, but he's still a feisty bugger. There he goes, protecting his rock. Keeping it clean for the female to come along. See? There you go, perfect example. So that's where the growth came from. Yeah. Feisty's fighting with me now. Alright, that's 10 minutes of battle. I'll check back in when hopefully Mr. Oscar is cured and going back into his tank. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, as they say.